following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
Live from the Rock, North Carolina, the Sand Hills, we are ready to go for round number 5. Make that, of the season number 7. The All-American Cup Series presented by Harpoon Designs is here at North Carolina Motor Speedway, a track formerly known as the Rock, as we get ready for 200 miles around this 1.017 mile oval that used to host Cup racing, and this week, ironically, the 20th anniversary already of the final Cup race ran at this 1 mile track. Of course, that race that afternoon won by Matt Kenseth, and tonight we're back here for some more racing here on the All-American Cup side on iRacing. So we appreciate you guys joining us on this Friday evening. I am the captain as we get you ready for qualifying. As always, the broadcast a little different as we kick off the show here on Friday nights. That's because there's a little bit of a window between qualifying and the race. So we come on right for qualifying, basically, and get you ready for, again, the festivities here this evening. As cars are on the track, practice is just wrapped up, and let's get you out there. Everybody's going to get their tires warmed up. I am hearing a lot of loose, a lot of tight center in the cars here this evening. So I think we're going to see a track that's playing ill handling, but at the same time, seeing the fast speeds that we're used to seeing around this high banked oval, the D-shaped oval here in North Carolina. Of course, banking of 22 degrees in turn 1 and 2 right there, where you see the 77 running the boards, and in 3 and 4 you see is 24 degrees and more of a sweeping corner through that portion of the track, as you see Mark Whitley in the 77 running up there in the bumpy section of turn 3 and 4 as he brings it off turn 4. As you see, first laps on the board go to Colin Curlis with a 23.6. Barkuski was second for about a half a second. Now Mark Whitley, 23.24. So good lap on his part. And we're going to start to see some of these laps run their way in. Let's check out Mike Husby. Oh, by the way, the sponsor of our Pole Award, MH Designs. So as Husby runs that 19 Dodge down the back straightaway here. Whitley has gone to a 23 flat now at the top. Christopher Heller, P2. You see Curlis is already P3. Let's see if anybody can get up there. Nice lap by Robert Mathis. Casey Carrington. That's a 23.33 for him. See if they go any faster as Tony Ball goes 23.225 as he is P2. Show you all the laps right there of where everybody's running. Of course, the green means good. Carrington 23.21. So right now, Whitley 2/10 on the field. So a lot of cars, though, to qualify here. Let's go to Colby Wells, who is on track. Of course, if they faded out their color, that means they are on pit road. Those in color are on the track as Davis Warren, 23.31. And Colby Wells is going to spin out. Stephen Miles, 23:17 up to P2. And that was his second lap, so that's the closest anyone's gotten to Whitley's lap. Here is Justin Thompson, the winner from Auto Club Speedway a couple weeks ago. Thompson crossing the line, and he'll jump to third with a 23:18. How about Matthew Weeks? Does he have anything in this Mountain Dew number 11? Nick Leo, 16th, 23:45. P2, 23:16 for Matthew Weeks. Good qualifying effort for him. And that has pretty much got everybody lined up of what we're going to see here. So Mark Whitley going to win the pole here this evening. A 23 flat pretty much with a 71. And I believe that is a new track record by far here at North Carolina Motor Speedway, or Rockingham, whatever you're used to calling it. I'm old schoolish, so you're going to hear me call it North Carolina Motor Speedway. 3/10, by the way, faster. 23:48 was the pole, or the record lap, so the top 16. Make that top 17. Van Pelt missed it by 4/1000ths. Going to break the track record here in qualifying with Matthew Weeks. So, all right. So now we're going to go into the warm-up session. All the cars are going to make the race tonight. It's the first time one of the rule changes this season. 36 cars will make the race here tonight, and we have 36 in the field. So no go or go homers, which is definitely a positive for the guys here this evening. So congratulations, though, to Whitley. He wins the MHD Pole Award this evening. All right, so let's get to know a driver here, as we've started to do this here with the broadcast this season. And this driver that is on our get-to-know list is a driver that is a previous champion here in All-American Cup Series. He won 2 seasons ago, and that being Christopher Heller in the 8 car. Reached out and got some information and said, hey, Chris, share some stuff about you that maybe no one knows. So here's 3 things for you about this young man out of Ohio. He's got a bachelor's degree in media production from Bowling Green State University, which is a little bit more than what I did. I got an associate's in broadcasting. He's got the whole DMP. I don't know if it's digital media or just straight up media. I'll have to ask him about that from Bowling Green. He's actually going back to Bowling Green right now for a second bachelor's degree in business administration with a specialization in information systems. Basically, he wants to get into cybersecurity once he secures his degree, which kind of scares me. I don't need him getting into my computer right now. Just kidding. But no, that's definitely cool to see. As we need more people to take care of those cyber bullies out there, like Chris Lewis. Ha 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 ha. Checking to see if he's watching. But no, that's definitely some cool news here on the driver of the 8 car. And let's talk to him real quickly, as he's going to get himself another good starting position as he looks to get himself back to victory lane here tonight. Chris, obviously just reading off about the degrees and stuff. The media production degree, just out of curiosity, is that a digital media production, a DMP degree?
No, it's just a regular media production degree.
I asked that because where I went to school, obviously for broadcasting, we had a digital media production, whatever you call it, field or something. But anywho, no, that's awesome. Great news there, and good to see you out there doing the whole cyberbullying thing. I mean, out of curiosity, what made you want to get into it?
Yeah, well, it's cybersecurity. I did some research and stuff on it. It seemed like a pretty good field to get into, and yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of research on it, and it has a good, I guess, a good amount of, I don't know what the word is, I guess, off the top of my head, because I was in race mode.
Right,
But
no, that's fair.
yeah, what's the
Like
word for
need,
it?
demand, need.
Demand.
There you
Demand's
go.
what I was looking for.
I got you, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's switch you back to race mode now. How's the car? I know we're hearing a lot of tight loose out there. Looks like a lot of cars needing to use all the track pretty much to get the grip out of it.
It's snappy.
Ooh, I like that word.
Yeah, it's snappy. It doesn't like to grip, and then when it grips, it takes off.
That's definitely not a good thing. But how's the
Yeah,
tire wear
so
out there? I know Rock's obviously usually been pretty good at eating up tires.
yeah, it's definitely a cheese grater for sure on both the right front and the right rear, depending on how you're driving it. I had one run where I burnt up the right rear, and then I did another run I burnt up the right front. So
Is that a
I don't
matter?
know.
I was gonna say, is that a matter
Yeah,
of it just driving it off a certain end, or is that more of just how much brake you're using, or that kind of thing?
I don't know.
All
I ran 2 runs, and one looked good, and then the second run I did, the right front was cooked. So I don't know. I don't know what I was doing different from the first run to the second run. Maybe I got a different cloud, and maybe I don't know.
Well,
It's
I was gonna say,
definitely weird.
I'm looking up at the sky right now. It's a lot of the clouds. So,
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe the sun poked out a little bit from the
There
first
you
run. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's all good, brother. Hey, best of luck here, man. I see Mom's watching, and all the best here this evening. Let's go break that losing streak, or winless streak, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Christopher Heller, of course, sounds like me half the time out there on the racetrack. I think I broke his concentration. That's not good. Anyways, but hope for the best there. Of course, here tonight, starting in the top 10, I believe, there. So it looks like 55 laps on fuel as we get into this race here this evening. Of course, you got the usual sets of tires. Now, the one thing that is going to be different tonight, there is no Joseph in the booth tonight. So, unfortunately, he's down and out for the count this week, and hope for the best. Hopefully, he'll get back next week for that race, but looks like the boss man is out for this week. So, I think there's some stuff that's in the works that Carrington's going to do tonight to try to help out with the race control and stuff. So, we'll see how that all works out here this evening. So, yeah. Otherwise, Mark Whitley going to be on the poles. We got about 20 seconds left in qualifying, so let's step away and get our national anthem and get you ready to go racing here from the Rock.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, here we go. Taking a look at the starting lineup here from Rockingham as Whitley on the pole alongside Matthew Weeks, Stephen Miles, Justin Thompson there in row 2, Casey Carrington, and Tony Ball in row number 3. Row 4, Christopher Heller, Davis Warren, Mathis, Curlis, Ray, McWhorter, as we run you through the starting lineup here at Rockingham. It'll be 197 laps tonight, 200 miles of racing. We're on this just shy of 1.1 mile track. As you see Stephen Melnick and Quentin Sutphin going to be the rest of the grid. And there's your race information. 197 laps, 200 miles. And of course, the series presented by Harpoon Designs, 71 degrees, 79% or 79 degree track temperature. Before we get the green flag, let's take a look at the point standings entering the race here this evening. McWhorter, 1 point lead over Heller. Miles, 2 points back. Thompson, 3 points back. Isabella, 9 points back as she looked at the right column. And in Barkuski, 11 points back there at 6th, all the way down to 10th. Only 21 points back. That is a pretty tight battle right now going into race number 4 here this evening. Team standings, 25-11, leading right now over Driven Motorsports by 2. It's iRacing, CX2, and Pro Edge in the top 5 there. Our manufactured points, Chevrolet with a 12-point lead over Pontiac, Dodge, Toyota, and Ford. Rounding out the 5 manufacturers in the series here tonight. And last but not least, Rookie of the Year standings, McWhorter leading Isabella by 1. Justin Thompson right there. Wesley Donaldson not here tonight is down 6th. Smith and Ritter amongst those at the top. There you go. As we get you ready for racing here around North Carolina Motor Speedway as the sun comes out. What a surprise. The sun comes out as we get the green flag. Round number 4 of the All-American Cup Series presented by Harpoon Designs from the Rock as Whitley leads them in. Jonathan Smith already having issues. Jonathan Smith, Josh Shelton, Stephen Melnick involved in a spin over here on the front straightaway as Quentin Sutphin did not take the grid. I was going to mention the cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Let's see what happens here on the first lap of the race. You see Smith riding behind the 7 here as they come to the green. Pace car pulls in. Checkup. Yep, big checkup. Everybody's anticipating. And the 6 runs over to 72 in the Melnick. These guys have been having tons of trouble starting in this race. It seems like the first couple of weeks here, we've had a lot of restarting issues. There's people anticipating. And you can't go until the car goes in front of you. Right? I'm just putting it out there. Let's go to the crash cam and take a look. Another issue you have here, you see the 7 kind of off by a 10th or 2. Everybody's trying to time it, and the 7 checks up, 72 checks up, 6 checks up. Man, that's a product of it's the full understanding. You get cars that want to keep themselves out of trouble by restarting the way they are starting a race. But look, you got a gap right here. You got a gap right here. You got a, I feel like we're football here. You got an alley here and an alley here. No. But when you have these kind of gaps, you're laying back to try to be safe to not run over the other car. But guess what you're doing? If there's a checkup, you're going a lot faster than that car in front of you is. Well, you're going to run into the back of them. Watch, everybody goes. 7's actually okay here now. And then all of a sudden, bam, there's your checkup. Bam, there's and then the 6 all of a sudden, from being back a little bit, up into the 72. I mean, the ideal way of doing this, you want to be about a 1/10 of a second back. And that's no further. Some might agree with me on that, some might not, but there are actual leagues out there that will put that rule into play, and now we're seeing the unofficial glitch that always happens. This has been happening for years on iRacing, is the cars that do not cross the start-finish line before the caution comes out get stuck a lap down here, and those cars will get wave arounds and come back around once the pace car takes 1 to go here. So Lewis and all these guys will swing around. So unfortunate deal there where people are just trying to time a start, and you just can't do it that way. Best way to do it, just let the car in front of you go and then go. So we'll bring it back to the green and try it a second time. And let me show you the points again here as I was kind of running through it there. So it's 1 point down to Heller from McWhorter, and then you got 3 points back to Miles, and you got 3 back to Thompson. And then Isabella's right there, 9 points back, as he started in the back tonight, so he's going to have some work to do. Barkuski, 11 points back, and then Henry, 13 back, and Zach's not here tonight. And then you got Husby and Carrington, and then Jonathan Smith, who was just involved in that incident, 10th in points, entering the race here this evening. So there's another look at the top 10 as we enter the race here this evening. All right, dust ourselves off and try again, as they say. And Whitley leads him back to the green. Matthew Miles, Thompson. Looks like a lot cleaner of a restart that time by. Oh, and now Jordan Owens gets turned. McWhorter is going to get a lot of damage from this. Somebody misjudged the entry into turn 3 and got in the back of the 20. And second caution now. All right, this has not been the best of starts here. This track is very notorious for different braking zones. And it looks like Ray just sends it in there deep and gets himself clobbered. Ray into Owens, and the 14 of Brad Delph getting damaged also. Alrighty then. Crash cam on this one. So the contact's going to happen right up here. These two black cars. You're going to see Owens arc it into the corner, and Ray's just going to send it in there, and bam. McWhorter nowhere to go. Delph nowhere to go. And it looks like those are the only 4 cars. I get damage from this. All right. Well then. Quentin Sutphin gonna get a lap back. He made his appearance, got stuck in traffic apparently on US 1 there outside the track. All right, so while we're under caution, let's show the schedule of where we're at right now in Season 7. Of course, tonight, race number 4, race number 5 next week. Bristol. Just going to turn my head sideways a little bit right now at that one after the way this has started a little bit. Bristol Motor Speedway on March the 1st. Remember, it is a leap year, so the 29 days this year. And if you have a birthday on the 29th, I don't know if it's a lucky birthday or an unlucky birthday, but either way, happy birthday to you. Bristol next Friday night, and then Texas, Pocono, Motegi for the month of March. Looking forward to that flight when I do the flight sim. All right, let's try it a third time. have a 2-hour time limit, which since the Captain Esports Network has started broadcasting these races, we have never gotten to that mark. We've come close, but never gotten to it. Let's try it again as Whitley and Weeks, Miles and Thompson and Carrington, your top 5. Back at it again. Going to make it through a lap. Battle a lot for second. Stephen Miles, top side. Going to go around Matthew Weeks as he'll take that position away. Miles looking really quick this evening. Trying to get into the victory column for the first time in his career in this series. Carrington up to the 4th position. There is Heller. Ghost Energy number 8. You see the 70 car. I don't know if that's a good paint scheme for tonight, but you know what? That yellow paint scheme, the sponsor on it, is pretty popular around this track. If you go back to the latter years of this track in NASCAR, it was Jamie McMurray. As caution comes back out, Joseph McWhorter has gone around over in 3 and 4. But I was about to say that paint scheme's won a couple of races here at the Rock. And was there contact with the 7? See what happens to the 73 this time. Crash cam it there. You see him behind or in front of Barkuski now. Oh, little Robin there with the 56, and he's going to get in the back of the Nintendo car, and his teammate's going to finish him off. So once again, a little misjudging of the brakes into the corner. Guys need to take a deep breath here. Long race. And you see Isabella and the car in front just racing hard, and then obviously the 73 sends it in there and gets into the back of that car. All right, so caution number 3 here. Yikes. A lot of cars coming to pit road getting damage fixed. Brad Delph, Justin Ray, a lot of these guys from the first 3 cautions getting the damage. McWhorter, Jordan Owens, and the 72 of Jonathan Smith. But tonight going to be the 4th appearance, of course, with this race on the schedule. If there's a positive to this whole thing, is that the last 2 seasons have only had 4 cautions in the 197 lap race, and then 2021 though might be the bad news. That's where we had 13 cautions in this race. So let's hope we don't have the 2021 race, but the 2024 race. If so, that means we only have 1 more caution left in the next 181 laps. That race last year, it was Carrington going to victory lane over Zach Henry. Alex Bryson finished 3rd in that race. Matter of fact, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are not here who finished in that race. Henry, Bryson, Rogers, and Tyler Burden. And that race, by the way, was the second to last race of season 5. So it's actually later in the season than it was here this season. Whitley, the one driven car so far, not involved in an accident in the first 3 cautions here. Let's hope we can keep it that way for his sake as we go back green. Week's going to clear for second. Get up there and try to battle that 77 for the lead as we're side by side back here for third. And also side by side here for fifth. Heller in that 8 car. You see Thompson in the 3, the rookie there trying to slide up on the 1. Kind of weird calling him a rookie in this series when he's been a pro driver. Back here, Nick Leo in the 11, the 07. Trying to hold a straight face with that car. Of Jackson Van Pelt, the 45 of Colby Wells. Not sure if Leo got loose there or if he was trying to let the 07 up. That was kind of interesting. Kyle Hall joining that battle in the 87. Start to see the sun again, making an appearance. Al Ethier back there in that Miller Lite number 2. Obviously, I don't have the audio on, but I'm pretty sure Casey Carrington gave these guys a little bit of a talk just now, probably under that caution. Jump up here to 8th. Here's the Todd Bodine throwback of Tony Ball inside of Colin Curlis. I haven't seen the Curlis PR department up here yet. 62 having a good run here so far of Robert Mathis. Had a little bit of a struggling start, but pretty solid here so far as we watch Carrington inside of Miles for 5th. Here's that top line coming into work as Miles clears him back. That's what this track can do. Hey, shout out Brantley Roden, of course, watching tonight. Mr. Harpoon himself. Anna Warren watching the broadcast here tonight. Of course, the Bully Dog Coffee Company and Media Company. Watching, and Patty Heller, Mrs. Heller, of course, Chris's mom, watching this evening with the family. Appreciate all you guys. His caution's going to come back out. Nick Terrell has gone around. Caution out for a 4th time. Greg Martin, last night's winner in the TI race at Auto Club. Oh, Terrell looks like gets a little loose, and then Brad Delph finished him off McWhorter. About got in this one. Little tag of the outside wall there for the 81. Looked like he got slightly loose into the corner. And then the 14 just polished him off. Let's see again. Watch as he goes to turn 3 here. Let's go to the old crash cam. This camera's getting a lot of work tonight. Oh yeah, you can see he's already dog tracking a little bit, and yeah, the 14s comes up and finishes him off. Nice job by both Smith and by McWhorter going by. That's going to bring Davis Warren to pit road, along with others, to get damage fixed. Davis maybe going to go off strategy here a little bit. Of course, Davis is in the perfect pit stall where I can't get a camera on him. This is going to be the one rough patch of the night, is the fact that obviously Joseph Penn, who's the usual admin tonight, is not here. So unfortunately Casey's down there kind of running everything himself while he's trying to drive a race car, which I've always found to be unfair, but it's the way the cookie crumbles right now when you have a change like that. We'll get one to go, I think, this time by. If there's a positive here. The caution laps are like a minute or so, and gets back to green quickly and let these guys race. Just FYI, if you have not followed the Captain Esports Network on Facebook and Twitter, I have actually posted links in the information page on YouTube. If you just click on, like, you got the window open, look down in the race information area of YouTube down below the screen. You click that and it shows you the Facebook and Twitter links, so you can click the follow buttons on those if you haven't already. Get more presence out there on the social media side. And you see the field over the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Pace car should pull off right here, and we'll go back green. Looks like a good restart for everybody. Up the 24 or 22 degrees of banking, the more shallower corner, if you will. You see the run by Colby Wells there in that 45. As the battle on for second there, Thompson and Matthew Weeks battling it out. Of course, the weather has been mostly cloudy throughout practice and qualifying, and now the sun, I said a few minutes ago, trying to make its appearance here. It's going to throw this track for a whole nother dynamic if this thing shows up. Of course, you're in the sandhills of North Carolina, and for those who don't know that area, a lot of sand gets blown around in this area. And that's what they talk about, gets on this track and it just kind of eats it up a little bit, along with the winters and stuff. It's almost like 80 grit sandpaper, as they say, when you run around this track. With all the action going on, I'll give a shout out to that car right there. Vincent Isabella started 33rd. It is up to 12th. With the cautions that have happened, he has just been going around cars, started in the back, working his way through. He's your biggest mover right now in this race. You probably ask how. I mean, you get some cars wrecking or whatnot. He's doing a good job. 62, going to grab the apron there. Going to give him another position. Now he's going to work on Nick Leo. So Isabella looking pretty sporty in the MTJ throwback as Kyle Hall puts her up in the outside wall. More contact with somebody. I think it's Telder and the 62, and I think, oh no, into Lewis gets turned into Telder. 44 goes all car long on the back straightaway with Whittemore. And something tells me there's some unhappy people right now. Happens here. Oh wow, Telder gets up into Mathis, and then Hall gets the wall. I don't know if Telder didn't know they were 3 wide or something. Then he gets loose, puts himself in the wall. And then they just get crowded here and then wreck. Josh Dillon getting damage from it, and there's the 44 on his lid. Is there a full moon outside tonight? I don't know if the spotter didn't tell Teller he's 3 wide. He's definitely 3 wide here, almost 4 wide. Husby's on the apron. Just go back here a little bit from this accident. Let's go into the front straightaway here. That's where the 62 is going to get loose. Unfortunately, Teller just dives it in there, washes up into him. Hall puts himself in the wall. Then everybody's scrambling. Teller gets loose, puts himself in the wall. Here comes Husby to the apron. Lewis is going to try to go into there. It's just not going to work. I think Brantley nailed it earlier, saying a lot of people racing like it's the last lap of the race. Let's this will be fun. Whee! There's a 72. So, and McWhorter goes to the bottom. So, looks like might be turning into a race of survival here tonight. The good news, there is one person in this race tonight that is guaranteed 0 incident points. And he's not in this race. It's me. Unless I spill, like, whatever I'm drinking or something. Alrighty then. Everybody awake down out there in chat. Just want to make sure. Appreciate all you guys watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Of course, we're on YouTube only tonight. Found some issues with our Facebook pages. Actually, Casey alerted me on it with our music and stuff. Kind of was interesting. Trying to get some information on that, and but we do have a link over on the Facebook page if you want to watch, but it will send you back over here to YouTube. For now, as we go back green lap 38. First battle, here's Colby Wells and Curlis in the 54, and there's Isabella there behind them as he continues his climb through the field. Speeds up to about 160, 170 miles an hour into turn 1. Notorious things about this track, it had a lot of speed in it. Used to have two pits here, but of course back about 1999 or 2000 they moved everything to one side of pit road. Husky coming off a top 3 finish last week. Let's watch him carry some speed down the straightaway here. 169 down to turn one, running the bottom side. Can't really go full throttle until you get to the straightaway itself. That's where you see up to about 165 on the shorter end. Up front for the lead, Matthew Weeks has taken it. As he just passed the 77, so our first lead change of the night. On lap 42, Matthew Weeks to the front. As Thompson starts to approach now. Heller there behind him, along with Carrington. That's the one thing about this kind of race. When you get a race that has, 5 cautions in the first 40 laps, is you get a lot of people start feeling like they got to drive like it's the last lap or close to the last lap, so you're going to get a lot more aggression. And unfortunately, that's where the cautions breed cautions. So far, it looks like everybody kind of calming down and getting themselves into a rhythm here potentially. Top four separated by a tenth apiece. The closest battle on track's actually going to be this right here, the 07 and the 25. And there's McWhorter, who's had plenty of time to get that car fixed, and is up to the 15th position now. So good for him on getting that fixed. You see the 91 back there behind him. A little rubbing there. 91 of Dylan Rosenberg riding behind Kyle Ethier. Cars behind the wall as of right now: Chris Lewis, Robert Mathis, and Matt Telder. This guy's racing hard. Now McWhorter's going to take him 3 off of 3 and 4. And now caution out. 6 caution. Steve Ritter has gone around on the front straightaway to leaf guard number 16 with the nose damage. Delph there behind him. You see the 70 of Davis Warren. There's the 72 of Jonathan Smith. Oh, he and Husby come together, and Ritter nowhere to go and lifts up the 72. And that's what brings the caution out. And we'll come back to the replay. Right now, the leaders are on pit road, so let's go cover pit stops here. Everybody in for 4 tires and fuel. And we do have a couple of cars staying out, it looks like here. Very tricky exit to pit road. Looks like it is going to be the 77 winning the race off pit road. Weeks going to be second. Thompson, Heller, and Casey Carrington. As we got 3 cars staying out, and McWhorter's one of them. Davis Warren, Quentin Sutphin. Here, this is going to tell you right here how this race has gone already. Quentin Sutphin missed the start of the race and actually was 3 or 4 laps down. And here he is back in the lead lap into 27 cars. So that's how this race has gone already. let's talk to a driver. Let's talk to Matthew Weeks here, running in the 4th position right now. He's probably going to get one to go here. So Weeks, obviously, look like you got a car that could get up there and run with the 77. Obviously, if we get the yellows out of the way, you think you can win this thing?
I'm hoping. That's why I've just been ripping the bottom, man, trying to save some tires, hoping we do get a long run. Every time I move up, I seem I can gain on them a little bit, but I just don't want to wear out my right front too early in this race.
Has the sun done anything to the track? Because I noticed, obviously, it started to make some appearances out there.
It just popped up, and I'm like, oh, sun. So hopefully it loosens up even more, and it's going to be more in my wheelhouse because I like a loose car. So hopefully it keeps going that way, and these clouds go away.
Was there a word between O and sun?
I don't know.
Just checking. Hey, best of luck, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Matthew Weeks, right now, let's get him down to his Pro Edge team. That's a new, a change of team name I got used to now. I'm already easily confused. Now we're going to change team names. All right, coming to the green, McWhorter and Davis Warren. Those two stayed out. Mark Whitley first on tires and 3rd, with Matthew Weeks and Justin Thompson your top 5. You see the 70 getting chewed up. Let's line up the inside here and probably run a procession around the 70 car. And you see McWhorter holding off his teammate right now, but Whitley's going to want to take it from him. Here he comes looking low. Whitley being a little conservative there with his teammate, but here comes Weeks. He might have to make a move. And here comes a gang jumping on the 70. Isabella goes topside. I didn't think you could use that groove, but he did. Nice job by Davis to hold a lane. That could have been ugly. Davis doing a good job holding his line. This is the one corner. It's very tough to do something like that. As you see, the 54 was sliding up into the 35. You almost get to a point where you're driving in 1 and 2 at the Rock, where the caution's back out. And somebody lost a part of their car, and it's that car right there, the 34. Oh, and the 85 just drove into Terrell, and there's the 14. We got a parking lot in the backstretch. But Melnick's gone around, Terrell's gone around. Rosenberg has no nose. Let's see what happens here. On board with the Milwaukee Power Tools 34 car. We're gonna need some power tools for this car. Oh, wrecking up ahead there. Rosenberg into the 14. Another Carl Long impersonation as Dylan's gonna get into. Everybody checks up, and well, I should say everybody. One car checks up, and nobody else does. It seems like. Crash cam here and see what happens. 91 running top side here. Oh, he's going to get loose over the bumps. Oh, into the wall hard goes to 14. 34 gets turned. That's a track blocker. 72 gets involved again. There's Craig Martin with some damage. There's Delph hitting the wreck. In this situation, you just got to stop the car almost when you have a track block like that, but you get the 85 hitting the 81 now. Ritter and who's that? The 27 of Sutphin do a good job getting checked up. We'll take a look at something here really quickly as well, FYI, so I'm just looking at because the good news here is with the SimRacer Hub apps where all this information comes to me and stuff. The two races that had 4 cautions in it, those races literally ended 15 seconds in difference from the May of 2022 race to the May of 2023 race. Of course, this race was in July of 2021. That's the one that had the 13 cautions in it, and that race still finished 7 minutes before 2 hours. Right now, I think we're at 6 cautions. McWhorter's held on to the first or second position here after that last restart. Let's see if he can keep it up now as everybody gets a cycle on their tires. And we'll come back to green. As McWhorter was not the leader. Okay, I was trying to remember who was the leader. I think Whitley got past him as the caution came out. So Whitley gets the jump. McWhorter to second. There's Isabella up to 7th from the 33rd starting position. Check up there up in the front. I don't know if McWhorter almost got the wall, but Weeks had to avoid, and then Heller had to get off of the 73, and that caused a little bit of a stack up there, but nice job by everybody to get through it. Carrington and Thompson leaning on each other as Josh Dillon's off track. And he's going to surge through the grass. And we stay green as Isabella sideways, almost 3 wide. Tony Ball getting sideways. Oh boy. Jonathan Smith's on pit road. Just a battle here for 4th as Carrington trying to clear the 73. Thompson almost getting loose up there. Carrington right there in this battle for the points lead here early in this season. And you have 10 cars all separated by 30 or less points. And so the finishes here are very premium. Almost slid up in front of him there. And that time does clear him as 73 gets a little loose there. So Carrington to 4th. Make that 5th. That's up front. Oh, that's a lot of car up there. Never mind. I saw that green car. I thought it was Weeks. Leave me off for a second. For second, see Heller's trying to get to the back of Weeks. These guys have settled down for a second, but back here it is not settled down as Stephen Miles, Colin Curlis for the 10th position. I've not heard a word from the Curlis PR Club tonight. If they're on vacation this week like I am, or what the deal is. .70 laps in the books, and that last caution actually allowed Davis Warren guys to come in and take, I believe, a set of tires here. I'll have to check on that as Owens and Ritter about come together back here. But they did come to pit road there for a stop. Looks like Warren actually more topped off the fuel or something with a 7-second stop. So I think Davis is trying to back end his tires to where he'll have more at the end of the race, which is not a bad strategy to have. Especially in a race like this, the problem is you got to be careful not to short end yourself and leave a set of tires sitting in the pits with no use on them. As Tony Ball looking to get around the 73s, you see Vincent Isabella, Thompson, Colby Wells, those guys have been able to get around Joseph, who's on a little bit older tires, and now they almost come together. It's going to allow Miles to dive low. Him and Leo going to clear for position, so Rock definitely showing no mercy here this evening. Gordon Owens bringing the 20 to pit road. Unscheduled pit stop there. Not sure what's going on. Tony Ball, the helmet cam. You set it in and the car's so loose that you can't turn the wheel and it causes it to go tight center. You got cars going tight, loose in, tight center, loose off. That is an ill-handling race car when that happens. They put a lap on the 44 of Tyler Whittemore. So Whitley's pulled away to 1.5 seconds over Matthew Weeks. Keller there in third, Carrington fourth. And Justin Thompson, your top 25 cars on the lead lap. Make that 26. Sounds like a Chris Stapleton song. And this is the action right here. You gotta be very careful at that apron. Oof. laps complete. The battle for second. As Heller to the inside, Weeks to the outside. And Weeks going to clear him. Heller going to clear to second. I don't know what it is, but man, I don't want to be the one that jinxes anything. But last night during the TI race at Auto Club Speedway, I talked to one driver the whole entire night, and that driver went to victory lane. Well, just going to leave that comment alone, because the only two people I've talked to so far tonight are running second and third. As Ethier trying to clear McWhorter, he's going to do so through 3 and 4. See these cars are just driving evil right now. And by far the longest green flag of the races. 07 having some connection issues. Get the man a tinfoil hat. So those who came to pit road at lap 49 under that yellow, you're looking at another 10 laps or so, 10, 15 laps, those cars will come to pit road. And then the guys that came at the last caution at 56, those guys have got another 20 laps or so before they come to pit road. But you wonder how much they want to really wait with the tires at this track. Let's jump up here. Stephen Miles starting to work his way through the field up to this 5th position now. Tony Ball kind of following him through as Isabella. First time I think he's lost spots tonight. Ball's back to the 8th position. One thing I can tell you, Miles is getting better and better at making that car a long run car. Something he has been focusing on in practice and stuff. I thought about bringing Davis up here. Barkowski got a top 3 finish last week. Trying to work that Pontiac back up there. Getting close here. Good job by Jackson to stay out of that. And Jackson was talking before the race about how he has had some rough luck. That's kind of why he's running the Hazard number 07 car there. This is one of those races where if you are Jackson and you're having issues like that, sometimes you just got to take a step back and just get to the finish. You get to the finish of a race, and at that point, you can kind of take that next step forward. As they put a lap on Quentin Sutphin. There's Mark Whitley, who's led pretty much all the laps in this race. Matthew Weeks led for a short time early, and then McWhorter leading there when he stayed out. Otherwise, it's been the Mark Whitley show here, trying to break the jinx, if you will. And that jinx being the drivers that win the championship usually struggle the next year or even the next couple of seasons, because I say that as Matthew, caution is out, and so Miles, the 27, Miles got some damage into 1. And did Tony Ball get some damage into 35? Have to see. Is caution out again? Oh no! Where have I seen this movie before? All right, we'll come back to this replay. I have a feeling I know what started this, so we'll have to see. But pit stops, everybody, for the most part, is in. There's a reason why I said not again. I was hoping I'd never have to explain this story on the air, but it looks like I will have to. As race off pit road, Whitley, Heller, and then the battle for third. Did Carrington get Weeks there? Nope, they're going to give it to Weeks. All right, back to the replay, and let's go to Quentin Sutphin in the 27. I sure hope not, Telder. I sure hope not. He's up in the outside wall as Carrington goes by, drags the outside wall in 1 and 2, and it comes down into Mont. All righty then. Similar to a Nashville race at TI where another car drove the wall through 1 and 2, come off the wall into Miles, bringing out the caution. Except that time something happened to his VR set. Might or might not have involved a dog. Who knows? In this situation, I don't think a dog's involved, but something happened. The 27 got stuck in a wall and into the 1. Oh boy. Oof, I don't know is a good word to use, Wes. Let's, that was just not a good decision, unfortunately, on the 27's part. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, caution is out. All right, so good news here is we've made it to halfway. Let's see where we are time-wise. I actually have a way to, as we come to the green flag here at lap 94. Maybe it's a good thing I don't. Oh, 54 is loose back there. Saves it into the wall. We stay green. Carlos going to give up all that track position. We switch it over. We are at the 1 hour mark at halfway. We'll keep an eye on both the time and the laps. As Thompson battles with Colby Wells for position. Larkuski looks low on the 2. He tries to work his way up to 9th position. Whitley about 3/10 up right now on Carrington. Is Van Pelt having a big blinking issue there? That's not the best spot to have that happen at. It does a good job of keeping control of that. Is 99 laps in the books. Heller trying to get up there to the 77. Carrington up to 3rd with Weeks now 4th. Isabella back up to the 5th position after he started to fall back. I appreciate all the viewers for watching here this evening. If you're new to the chat or new to the stream, hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, we do appreciate you returning and joining us. As we've had a unfortunate share of cautions in this race. Mark Whitley's been the guy up front for a majority of it. But we have seen some battles throughout the pack here, especially right up here at the edge of the top 10. As now you're seeing Weeks and Leo go at it with Justin Thompson there behind them. And then Colby Wells, who's been hanging at the end of the top 10 throughout the night. Ooh, almost some contact. That got close. Again, next week, these guys are at Bristol Motor Speedway Friday night. Have it for you, of course, on the Captain Esports Network, as Thompson just caught the wall hard off 4. Oh, and Wells is going to get into Thompson hard into the wall. He goes. And then Ethier with a T-bone, and Quentin Sutphin just going to be in the middle of it. Oh, and there goes Husby into Quentin Sutphin, nowhere to go. Look at the crash view to see if somebody came up or somebody came down. There's the contact there. Thompson on his lid with Ethier T-bone. 07 getting some damage, and Sutphin just nowhere to go. And he just takes some beating, just rolling slowly out of pit road. That's one of those nights where if I'm the 27, I just go to pit road and sit there. I'm just like, okay. Obviously, I'm not getting out of trouble here. Looks like a meeting. That's a lick. 27's like, what the? On board here, this ought to be an interesting one. Rolls out of pit road, gonna get up to speed, everything's great. Going to let the field go on by as you get up to speed, and all of a sudden, what in the world? Ow! One final view here. Mike Husby, what happened to him? There's the wreck up ahead. Oh, wow. McWhorter just gets into him. Not sure if he didn't see the wreck up ahead or something. There's the contact. I think he didn't expect Husby to check up as much as he did. All right. Good reminder that the Scalicast is out. Podcast this week featuring Jason Dalton. And you can check out the Scalicast on YouTube, also on the iHeartMedia page, Spotify, and Podbean. Of course, Dalton races on Wednesday nights here on the Captain Esports Network over at GLSR. And is one of those that is not afraid to represent like non-profit organizations and get awareness out there for different cancers or diseases or whatever, as he is one that definitely likes to put the word out there and try to help people out and stuff. And you get to hear some of his story and so much more. As you can check out episode 7 of the Scalicast online now. As Whitley leads lap 110. Heller up to again the second position as he's trying to chase down that 77. Isabella now has gone up to third. Carrington going to go to fourth. And a battle still with Leo and Weeks here for the fifth position. The only wreck we have not seen here tonight at Rockingham is from Del McWhorter. And that's a joke, by the way, because Del McWhorter, of course, used to run in the Zero car and was never afraid to party. But always went out there and ran in the usually the bush race or whatever, or the cup race, and for some reason was always a caution at the Rock. I don't know why. Just popped in my head. So McWhorter up to the 8th position after being involved in a few incidents tonight, we'll call it. As McWhorter will look underneath Barkuski in a battle for the 7th position. He'll take that spot away to move him up as he continues to roll back up through the field. Isabella putting the pressure on that 8 car. He's going to get a run on the top side here. Got her a little free and is going to make the pass to the outside. And move Isabella up to the 2nd position. There's Vincent with a top 3 finish earlier this season. And didn't get a chance that night to speak with him. So if he gets a good finish tonight, we'll get to talk with Vincent. Who knows, might even go to victory lane here if he can get to the back of the 77. Of course, Vincent started all the way back in 33rd and has worked his way through the front to the front. Let's go on the pit road. Back here, a couple cars fighting it out. Justin Ray, who was involved in some accidents earlier, 12th position. The 12 of Josh Dillon. 54, Colin Callers. How about that 6 who was involved in the first wreck at not even the start of the race? I mean, literally got to the green flag and caution was out real quickly. And that 6 was involved. He is back up to the 14th position, the rookie Josh Shelton. Dillon up to 12. Last time by, Whitley still about the fastest car at a track as he ran an 04. Everybody right there with him. Actually, Carrington in 03. I'm sure that's the one car that 77 doesn't want to seize the 9 because it seems like every week they're finding a way around each other as they battle for the win of races. Of course, you can't help but wonder how much the 77 is kind of just riding a little bit, trying to save his tires. As Weeks back to the outside of the 8. Move Weeks back up to the 3rd position. Here comes Carrington. Heller might have burned his tires up a little bit here. As a matter of fact, Weeks to the outside for 2nd on Isabella. Oh, Isabella got the outside wall as he's going to fall back now. And the battle here in front. You're definitely seeing who are the comers and goers in this race. Isabella's starting to fall back. You see Heller starting to fall back a little bit. Leo's starting to come up into the picture. Weeks now up to 2nd. And Carrington trying to get 3rd as Heller scrapes up the wall. Yep, we have fallen out of the server, unfortunately. All right, let's give me a second here, and I'll get us back in real quickly. Let's put some music on here for a minute. Stand by. So just to update real quickly, what I'm waiting for as I continue to try to do this is the session has still not kicked me out. It has said it's closed, but it's not kicked me out officially yet. So until then, I cannot log back in. So that's what we're trying to work on right now. I'm actually trying to get Task Manager up to try to close the session for me, see all these tricks I can do. Stand by, and I hopefully... we'll get back in there as soon as possible here. I think it actually just finally has removed me, so let me see if I can get back in. So, apologies for the inconvenience. Just unfortunately the way it is. All right, we're going back in. Here we go. Should be good. Let's see. Yep, we're going in. All right. Let's give it a minute here to get everything logged back in. And we should be good to go. And I appreciate everybody's patience. Again, apologies for the inconvenience, unfortunate situation there. I guess my 0x is now gone too, huh? All right, coming in now. And we have cars on the track, which is good, and we have a caution on the track, which actually might be a blessing in disguise right now for us. All right, so here we are. We're back. Let's bring it back to you. Unfortunately, now we're unfortunately not going to have any of the highlights from before, which sucks, but, you know, if that's the worst problem that we had, then we're okay. So, all right, so caution is out here at 127. Don't mind the green flag. It's just the timing's not up to par yet with the race telemetry. So just give it a second here, and it should catch itself up. Now, let me just do a restart real quickly of the... There we go. So we're at lap 141, so unfortunately we missed like 15 laps, but we're here. 56 laps to go. Mark Whitley still leads. And we got cars on pit road, obviously. No clue why the caution. If Telder is in here, I'm sure he'd tell me, but caution obviously has come out to end that run. It had to happen behind the last 5 laps, so we probably missed about 7 or 8 laps of green flag racing there before the caution came out. But we're going to come back green here, 56 laps to go. Appreciate everybody's patience. But unfortunately, it was out of my hands. But I will gladly take the blame if anyone wants to blame me for it. All right, coming back to the green. Lap 142 as Whitley leads them off. Heller, Weeks, Carrington, Isabella, your top 5. Leo Barkuski, who's now snuck into the picture. McWhorter, Curlis, who's back in the top 10, and Colby Wells in the 45. Up front, Whitley has lost the lead. Heller and Weeks have gone by. change in lap 143. How did that happen? Did Whitley make a mistake? Oh, he sure. Whoa! And he put himself in the wall hard. That car got a big time loose. Great save. But once again, I talked about it earlier before the one caution came out. Never got a chance to say anything about it again. There seems to be some kind of jinx on champions. I say that as the two champions before Whitley are now 1 and 2. Might just be the previous season, who knows, but it just seems like it's been happening a lot lately, but especially the following season. Matthew Weeks wins season 5 championship, struggles to get back to victory lane, finishes like 4th or 5th in the points. And then Heller last season ends up, what, 16 points, I think, in season number 6. He did ended up winning the overall championship or whatever. 50 laps to go in what has been an interesting night. Apparently I missed a big wreck when I crashed. Of course I did. Why not? I was a part of the crash, apparently. Heller finished 5th overall in points in season number 6 after winning the championship, but did not go to victory lane at all. And then after hit the right button here. After Weeks won the season 4 championship, Matthew Weeks finished 2nd in points, which isn't so much of a struggle, but only had 1 win that whole entire 5th season. So just shows you 1 combined win out of the 2 champions from the season before. And then Whitley goes out and has a record-breaking year last season, and here we are at week 4 and has not gone to victory lane yet. So I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but just something seems interesting about this whole thing. Heller, who's been good on the short run. Weeks has been good on the long run. 1 and 2. Whitley, who's been the fastest car all night. P3, hopefully with not much damage. Isabella up to 4th. Carrington up to 5th. McWhorter, who's looking for win number 3 on the season, running 6th now. If anyone has what happened in that wreck, apparently, that iShock YT is talking about, let me know. Just kind of peeking over the scoreboard to see who could have been involved in it. See if anybody's in different positions, but I don't notice anything of that has caught my eye. I do see this battle now shaping up for the lead as Whitley is caught back to the top 2. Weeks with a good run off the top side here. Going to try, look low, not able to do so yet. So we'll start working their way in the lap traffic here. You got the 2 of Kyle Ethier up ahead, and then the 44 Tyler Whittemore. Again, next Friday night, Bristol Motor Speedway for round number 5 of the season. Curious to see how that track races. I've heard with the refresh that you're going to see multiple grooves being able to be ran at Bristol. Obviously, top side will still be dominant, it sounds like, but the bottom side might actually be possible to use a little bit. Now we're starting to see Whitley fall back a little bit, so I wonder if he hurt his car as Sutphin gets the inside or the outside wall. Everybody pretty spread out. Let's go back to Miles, who's on the comeback trail up to the 15th position as he goes by Steve Ritter. Going to come up on Davis Warren potentially for 14th there in the 70 car. Running laps right now as fast as the leader, back in the 15th position. As up front, Weeks continues to hound the 8. Still do have one more pit stop likely to go in this race. Just an FYI on that. As we went green about 30 laps ago, you can only go about 55 or so on a tank of fuel, so that could change the perspective in this race here, especially if somebody makes a mistake or whatnot. Being told some are very close on fuel. And the good news is you're in a car here. This Cup car is one of the, out of all the cars on iRacing, easier cars to save fuel in. Look at this gaggle. And I say that because there is not much drag in this car. It does not drop speed as quick as, say, the truck or the old Gen 6 car. You can actually roll out of the throttle here and clutch it and almost run it right through the whole entire corner and still carry the speed you need off the corner and save fuel that way. And of course, with the speeds in these corners, you can let off the gas way early and let the car roll through as Craig Martin passes Davis Warren, or at least holds off Davis Warren for 13th right now. Miles trying to find his way through. Up front, Weeks still trying to get through there with Heller. As Whitley now joining the battle, so you wonder if maybe did Mark back off to save a little fuel in that 77 car, and now letting the car go to work here as he goes around the 11 for second. Isabella running 4th right now. Carrington back there in 5th. All 5 of these cars within about 2.5 seconds of each other, and then there's a big gap back to Colby Wells. I mentioned this gaggle of cars back here. Holy moly. As 30 to go, you see the 70 and the 22 almost coming together there. And Kyle Hall, I think, short pitted there, lap 164 just now. So he's coming off the pit road with fresh tires. You're going to try to pull an undercut potentially on somebody as Miles works inside Curlis now. that pass. Let's check up here with Colby Wells and McWhorter, and those guys running about 2/10 apart right now. A 26 laps to go. Who can make it on fuel? Who can't? As McWhorter running 6 now, he's gone around Colby Wells. Husby trying to get around there now, come back for a lot of these cars that have been involved in the madness here tonight, as they have to work around the 7 car of Vanoski. Keller's still been able to hold off Whitley by 3/10 right now. Isabella has now gone to 3rd. Is Whitley, did Weeks burn off his tires, or is he saving fuel? I'm going to go with B on this one. I think Weeks might have to save some fuel in that Charger. That's cost him to fall all the way back here to the 5th position. And the next question, how is Heller on fuel? Heller's done a great job with that line he has ran right there on the bottom. They're getting the run coming off the corner, but he's just been able to keep the clean air. And I say that as he scrapes up the wall there. Carrington has gone by Isabella for 3rd. So here comes the 9 car all of a sudden. And he's up in the outside wall now. And now caution is out. And Stephen Melnick has wrecked over in turn 1. And there goes the whole fuel window. Melnick goes into turn 1 and unfortunately tried to slide up there in front of the 20 car and gets himself turned. Terrell was there with him. Just drove it way too deep into the corner there and brings the caution out. Kyle Hall, not going to be a fan of that. Leader stays out. The rest of the field comes to pit road. Should, and the key word here, should be 4 tires and fuel. As you can see, right there from left to right, Whitley, Weeks, and then Carrington, and there's Miles into his stall. Race off pit road, going to go to Whitley and then Carrington and Weeks. So everybody, 4 tires and fuel, it looks like. then there's Heller back up here in the front, who might be feeling like a lonely man right now. Should get one to go this time by. Have a restart with 18 to go. And if you're Heller, you hope the first half of this race breaks out again here. Because right now you are going to be stuck with tires, without fresh tires, against a bunch of hungry hounds. And if you're Casey Carrington, especially him, and the rest of the field, you want this race to go all the way to the finish. Check the time here, just real quickly. That might be because we're down to 18 laps to go here. Coming back to the green. Heller's got to be careful with wheel spin here. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. As he's going to launch, and here we go. Good restart. Not for some other people, though. Caution back out. Jordan Owens. Nick Leo involved. And here we go again as people try to time the yellow or time to restart. See what happens here. Oh, Mike Husby with some contact. Here's a clean restart. Everybody goes. Oh, Husby spinning some tires or something. And gets up into Nick Leo and he puts himself on his lid. Oh, yeah, that's a wheel spin. Problem Husby tried to drive out of it. The only way you can drive out of wheel spin is shifting. Unless you just get off the throttle and let the RPMs get down, which then you just kill your momentum. But he just tried to drive through it, and unfortunately the car was out of control. Here, listen again. A couple cars spinning the wheels, and there it goes, bam, into the wall. So that wasn't anybody timing the caution. This is wheel spins, what that comes down to. This is going to be a night, unfortunately, a lot of people are going to forget about. Fit on the screen here. Let me. show up? It did not. Give me 1 second. You're going to see something on the screen here that'll help us a lot. I don't usually do this often because you don't need to, but I want everyone to have as much information as possible. That. So we got literally 15 minutes left in this race, unfortunately, and we got 14 laps to go. We should be okay. Should be in the key word here. Coming to the green flag, 13 laps to go. Ooh, Heller with a good wheel spin there. And here comes Carrington, going to take advantage on the bottom. Oh, he gets out of it. Whitley had a little bit of wheel spin there too, and Carrington killed his momentum. Weeks up to third. Weeks up to second as he is all over Whitley for the lead. Isabella up to third now. McWhorter is going to take fourth, or at least battle for fourth. Up front, Weeks trying to go for the lead. Somebody's smoking on the backstretch there, it looked like. Get rid of the timer. I think we're okay now. And Carrington with issues all of a sudden off the pace. Back to seventh. Now he's battling for eighth. Meanwhile, Weeks going for the lead. Three cars under a blanket here at the Rock. We've had tons of drama tonight, and why not? Let's have a wild finish. Talked about this week being the 20th anniversary of the final race here. That final race, Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, and Jamie McMurray battled. Before Kane and Kenseth had a side-by-side at the line to win it for Kenseth. Five to go. takes one slip up. Weeks with a pretty good run off the corner. I don't know what he did different, moving down a half a length. Whitley with the better run in 1 and 2 there. Oh, and Weeks just got the wall hard. Got loose there, a little bobble on the bumps. Stays in it though. Oh, a caution. Why not? Nick Leo has gone around on the front straightaway. Heller had fallen back, and you see Leo goes to the inside, gets on the bump, slides up, and oh, Heller's there. Well, this night has completely come undone for the 8 car. All right, so why not? Let's go to overtime. Should be able to do overtime. The second one might be in trouble, but the first one we can do. Lights are still on. Should get 2 to go this time by. Yeah, this is probably going to be the final restart because it takes about a minute 15, about a minute 10 to get around the track under caution. So we're looking at going green somewhere at about 4 minutes and 20 seconds or so left. And with 4 to 5 pace laps, another yellow comes out. We're probably running out of time. For the love of the perfect record here on the Captain Esports Network of no timed ends, let's get to the finish, boys. I believe in you. And so does all the viewers. And for those waiting for the world's wildest police chases, you will not be seeing that tonight. It's been preempted by the service. For those who watched Atlanta Braves baseball and stuff when you were younger, because there was nothing else to watch, we'll get that joke. right, coming to 2 laps to go. This will be it, probably right here. Green-white checker. Whitley with a big restart with McWhorter right there behind him. Weeks would have run topside. Clears McWhorter for second. Can he get the Whitley for the lead? White flag, final lap. Mark Whitley through 3 and 4. Gonna bring it to victory lane. For the first time this season, the champ sees the win at the Rock. Whitley, your winner. And I think the 11's out of gas. Or something happened because McWhorter's second. Carrington up to third. Davis Warren finishes fourth. Oh, that was wild. So Whitley goes to victory lane. As we'll take a look at the final results here. And we'll look back at the final lap there and see what happened here. And we're going to do more of the traditional interview tonight because it seems like people getting confused by me doing the 1, 2, 3 thing. So we're going back to 3, 2, 1. Whitley the winner, McWhorter second, Carrington third, Davis Warren fourth, Vincent Isabella fifth, Stephen Miles comes back to sixth. Matter of fact, let's just talk comebacks here. McWhorter to second, Miles to sixth, Dylan to seventh, Martin finishes eighth, Matthew Weeks ends up ninth, Steve Ritter with a top 10, Justin Ray 11th, Kyle Hall 12th, Nick Leo 13th, Barkuski and Heller finished 14th and 15th in the race, as I think the session is officially over now. That's how close it came. Melnick 16th, Curlis 17th, Ethier, Wells, Terrell, your top 20. Whittemore, Carson, George. Rosenberg, Matt Telder, and Quentin Sutphin, your top 25. Husby, Vanosky, Owens, Thompson, Shelton, Van Pelt, Tony Ball, Jonathan Smith, Brad Delph, Chris Lewis, and Robert Mathis, not the former defensive player for the Indianapolis Colts, finishing 36th. Unless it is, that'd be cool too. All right, let's go look at the final lap here real quick and see what happened to the 11 car. To 77. McWhorter got to his bumper, cleared him. Oh, and then there was contact or something there. And then Barkuski's going to go around. He didn't run out of gas or anything, did he? Wow, and there's evidence on his lid off Isabella. Did the 11 have to get out of the gas or something? Interesting. All right, let's talk to Casey, and we'll find out what happened there. In the battle for the win, let's get Casey up here first. Obviously, a wild race, we'll say at least. Everybody had issues tonight, including me. But nonetheless, the finish there, did anything get said between you and the 11 there about, did he check up or something? What happened there?
I honestly don't know. I couldn't see being on a single monitor, but I mean, he didn't say anything. So, and it was his teammate that he wrecked with, the other guy. So either, I don't know. I haven't seen the replay or anything, so I don't know what happened. I don't feel like I caused anything to do with that. I was just riding, and I heard tires and sheet metal banging and all that behind me, and all of a sudden I get a 4X, 100 yards from the end of the race, which was annoying. But yeah, I mean, hey, I ended up finishing where I probably would have had we not had that caution that ruined the fuel saving. But it's one of those things that at least getting a decent finish as a driver, it kind of makes up for the hair pulling out frustration of being an admin after a night like tonight.
Yeah, understandable there. I can understand the frustration, but obviously a third place finish points wise. Obviously with a very tight battle right now amongst the top 10, had to feel pretty good for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, to get back up there, I thought when I nearly spun there with probably 15 to go or whatever it was, I didn't. I mean, I thought I was gonna hit the tire barrier. I thought I was gonna get wrecked by my guys in my channel when I came back up on the track. I figured I was gonna finish like 7th or whatever, and come back and finish 3rd, even though it took some chaos in front of me. I'll take it. Like I said, that's about where I deserved to finish. I didn't have the fastest car tonight, which is really frustrating considering how good I was here last year. But yeah, the right guy won. I guess he went probably 160 of the laps.
Pretty good amount.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just one of those things. It's frustrating when we get out here and get so many good drivers, and we just drive like we got our heads in places that I can't mention on the broadcast. But I mean,
you could have said Oklahoma.
as I was saying, as I was saying before the race, and even during some of those early cautions, guys, I can make any rule change I can. I can preach and preach and preach and preach as much as I possibly can in regards to being careful and driving safe and all that. I can't drive the guys' cars for them. I made mistakes. I didn't take anybody with me. Maybe the last job, I don't know. Matthew tagged me in something saying it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, he said
so
it wasn't your fault. Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, but so I mean, and of course I ruined the whole race at Auto Club. So I mean, it happens to all of us. It's one thing to make a bunch of mistakes. It's another to be a deal bag on the radio while you're also causing a lot of problems for people. And we are going to make some changes as far as the things happening behind the scenes later on. Before we get to the next, we're going to make a schedule change too. It's not going to be Bristol next week. We're going to move that back to towards the end of the season where it belongs, where these short tracks belong. But probably Texas next week. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, this isn't a league powwow. This is an interview. So anyway, get back to what you were going to ask me. Probably shout outs and all that.
No, actually, I was going to tell you that Weeks admitted it wasn't your fault. He just missed the bottom there. But yeah, go ahead and send some shout outs because you got some work to do. It sounds like.
Shout out to Joseph. He's sick. He can't even talk.
He got the points up apparently.
Yeah, he probably got the coof being down at the Daytona 500 at the beginning of the week. I'm going to assume or something. Who knows? It's Florida. Who knows what kind of fungal things going down there at Daytona this time of year. But no, shout out to him. I mean, he always does a good job, does the best job he can. Which, like I said, when you're sick and can't even talk and weren't even sure if you're going to be able to make it or not, that's a good job. Shout out to everybody that watched tonight. I hope it was entertaining. I mean, if the first half of the race had been as good as the second half, it would have been a perfectly fine race. It was just we had a lot of come to Jesus that needed to be happening there in the first 40, 50 laps. And once that got sorted out, it got cool there. Decent All-American race afterwards. And shout out to you for doing the broadcast. Hope you were able to get a good broadcast in. You said you had some trouble, but I mean, didn't we all tonight? Shout out to Brantley sponsoring the week, Harpoon Design. I know his car's finished 1-2, so I'm sure he's happy. Mark with the lead pretty much the entire race, got plenty of TV time for that. And shout out to my teammates, Husby. Let's see, we had Davis Warren in there tonight. We had Josh Dillon, of course, Nick Terrell as always. Shout out to those guys at CX2. And yeah, I guess I'll see everybody next week.
Yeah, and obviously a tough run, but a good third place finish for you, Case. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, man. As Casey Carrington, obviously you can hear the owner disappointment, the driver satisfied, I guess we'll call it, for him finishing in a third position tonight as McWhorter comes through the field and gets to second place. As the only thing that McWhorter didn't hit tonight was the North Carolina lottery, unfortunately, but it still got you a second place finish.
Dude, tonight was just bonkers. I don't even know how the hell I came back from that. I got caught in 2 wrecks. I had nowhere to go. I got into the back of somebody because the wreck happened on the bottom and they completely checked up the high line. So I ended up running into I think it was 12 or something like that. Spun him out. Like I was all the way back. I think all the way back to 35th at one point in time in the race, and come back to finish second. I mean, holy cow!
Obviously, yeah. A lot of factors coming into play here tonight. Obviously, in this race, but still, it just seems like right now it's just working out your way with these finishes.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, dude, I was just talking to Mark about this. Like, I'm trying to come in to this season. I've come so close to trying to win a championship in so many leagues and just come up short, finishing second. I don't know how many times. And I'm trying to come in to this season with just a new outlook of just, hey, let's just finish races. Let's put races together. Let's top 5s, top 10s. Like tonight, I knew I was going to struggle on speed. Let's just try and get a top 5, top 10. We got into the wreck. I didn't even get mad, which normally I'm pretty bad about getting mad and in Discord and kind of blowing up like Ryan Blaney does. And I just stayed calm. I fixed 2.5 minutes of damage, if you can believe that. Fixed 2.5 minutes of damage, came all the way back to finish second. Like, I'm just bound and damn determined to win a championship, and I feel like this is the right mindset to be in if I want to try and compete for it at a high level.
Well, obviously it worked out, and so far so good. I mean, just the one rough race there at Auto Club Speedway, and almost a rough race tonight, but you made it through the rock, and congratulations, and send some shout-outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Red Camel Racing. They've been an awesome sponsor of mine for all my real-life race gear. So go check them out at redcamelracing.com. They have workwear and racewear. All your flame-retardant needs and stuff like that. Shoes, helmets, gloves, you name it, they have it. Check out harpoondesign.com. Brantley does an awesome job. I mean, he's been slammed with a lot of paint schemes lately, so be patient if you put in an application for a paint scheme, but he's knocking them out. So big shout out to him. Also for helping spotting me and Mark tonight doing double duty because my spotter couldn't be here, so appreciate him. My teammates, John, Mark, Brantley, and Daryl. You for putting on an awesome broadcast each and every week. I mean, I'm sure that I know the first half of the race was a little rough, but that second half was really good. The admins, the league owner for putting on an awesome show every week and working really hard, and just ready to get into. I don't know where we are next week. I really
to be
need to look
determined.
at this.
I've just been
to
told.
be determined.
It was
determined.
Supposed to be Bristol, but it sounds like that's changing. So
I don't think that's a bad idea. Maybe just get away from, maybe go to somewhere big, like maybe Indy or something like that. Have a little bit of fun. I think that'd be a good call. I think we'll get a really good, maybe a fuel mileage race or a tire race. So, yeah, I mean, looking forward to next week, man. And hopefully we're talking to each other again, man.
sounds good. It'd probably be a track that's on the schedule right now. So I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, true. That makes sense. Yeah.
All right, man.
All
nice
right.
job.
Well, you have a good night, man.
You too.
Thank you.
Be safe. As Joseph McWhorter finishes second to his teammate Mark Whitley, who puts a show on tonight, dominating the effort in what ends up being the longest race here at the Rock in All-American history, 203 laps. So, Mark, obviously, you were going to make it look easy there for a little bit, and then you tail whipped the wall, and it kind of changed things a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking iRacing implemented their Tempest system a little early because I went down in the corner trying to take it easy, and all of a sudden it felt like it was raining or it was oil, like they were, I was running like half throttle just trying to, get going, and it just snapped. And thankfully I tagged the wall, but somehow I didn't get too much damage. I only had I think it was about 25 seconds of damage when we came down in that pit of that last time. And yeah, I felt like I gave up the lead twice doing stuff like that on the restart. So, it just sucks. I felt like I wanted to try to be perfect, and I made 2 big mistakes. Thankfully, we were able to recover from it. Heller staying out there, I was really when he stayed out, I was so confused because I was sitting there thinking that we had run so many laps that I figured use that last set of tires, and there wasn't going to be enough laps after that somebody could undercut us. So I was really kind of confused when he stayed out, but I was really thankful because we're able to come in and get 4 tires and, fresh tires, old tires here at the, Rockingham, which is such a cheese grater on the tires. I was able to get around him pretty good. And car was hurt a little bit that last run there. I know there was a couple times there. I got to thank Matthew for not completely running me over because there was a couple times I got into the corner like I had earlier in the race, and the car just didn't like it, or I just didn't hit the line or something. I had to get checked up, and he could have easily ran my ass over, and that'd have been it for us. So I really appreciate him giving me a little bit of space. I know me and him have had some run-ins, but we've also had some really good racing together. I know I think he got involved in a wreck on that last lap, unfortunately. It's always fun racing against him, and my teammate, he over there, he had a very up and down race.
Slightly.
Went from thinking he was completely out of it at one point of it, he was sitting there wanting to park it, and then he just kind of keeps plugging away. And sometimes stuff like that goes your way. He's the points leader, and he could have easily lost his points leader tonight, but looks he'll probably keep it pretty good. And unfortunately for us, and we got a 30-point gap to make up on him. We're not going to probably gain that much on him, but just keep plugging away. He's a hell of a teammate. He's really fast. He keeps, when he's down, he keeps at it, and we just gotta hopefully turn our luck around. Hopefully this turns our luck around, and we can start, ripping some good finishes off back to back. Had up till tonight, I think our best finish was 15th out of 3 races, so definitely needed some lady luck on our side, and I think we finally got it.
Yeah, definitely a good start here to obviously after the 4th week. I know I try to say it as a joke, but it kind of, after your first 3 weeks, it's like, man, is this actually really a jinx that's going on with the champions? But nonetheless, man, good job. Congratulations, and send some shout-outs.
Oh, yeah, a big shout-out, Brantley over at Harpoon Designs, designing mine and Joe's and John's car. I know John got involved in some wrecks early in the race, and he couldn't finish. I really love this paint scheme Brantley's got for me. Check him out at harpoondesign.com. He's got a form you can fill out, get a custom-made paint scheme, or if you want to check him out on Trading Paints, I think it's under Brantley Roden or Harpoon Design. Last I checked, he's approaching 2,000 paints on there, so there's something for everyone if you want to get some, run some replicas of NASCAR guys. So check him out. And like I said, a huge shout out to my teammate for coming. He started way deep in the field and made his way up here, and was able to avoid avoid the carnage at the end at least. Top 2 for him, and then like I said, John, my other teammate, he had probably the worst luck out of all 3 of us, and had terminal damage there at one point. So unfortunately for him, but we'll keep at it. And next week we'll come out here, and hopefully we can get another 1-2 for Driven Motorsports Harpoon Design Racing.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations.
Oh yeah. One last shout out to my family for tuning in these broadcast races. It's been a while. I know this year I've kind of been I haven't run as much as I was last year, so glad they can tune into these broadcast races. Mom, Dad, Granddad, thank you tuning in. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Great job tonight, bud.
Later.
You too. Mark Whitley, the winner tonight here at The Rock. Congratulations to him. As I see a very funny photo in Discord. That's kind of funny. There's I think I have access to show it, don't I? There's a photo that is posted that Justin Ray. Well, show Discord here real quick. This is some of the humor sometimes you get out of a race like this. You get photos like this. I mean, when the fuel can is holding up the car, I mean, what are you gonna do about it? That must have been the last lap or something. I'm guessing that happened there, because that's weeks going around or flipping. So, you get some humor out of things sometimes. Just putting it out there. So. Anyways, congratulations to the guys there at Driven Motorsports, of course. Excuse me, for their win. And let me take a minute here and see if I know Joseph put the points up, because I saw he was in chat a little bit. Let's give me a second here and. Yeah, points are updated. And I'll get them loaded for you guys. Just give me 1 second here. Just going to have to pull the snipping tool out here on. But McWhorter leads by 11 over Stephen Miles now, who is second in points. A good comeback for him after having the unfortunate deal that happened to him halfway into this race. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Vincent Isabella will move up to third. Christopher Heller is going to be fourth now. And Mark Whitley up to fifth. There we go. Here's your points. Carrington sixth. And you see the top 7 still within 30 points of each other. Thompson, the big faller tonight, unfortunately, with his wreck, falls 4 to 8th. Leo 9th, and then Matthew Weeks going to be your top 10. as we go to, sounds like, from what Casey said, Texas next week now instead of Bristol. So they might just push everything up a week, which means we'll go to Texas Motor Speedway next week. But, of course, wherever you see me post a video and stuff next week, and if you follow me on Twitch, you'll see me fly a plane somewhere. And that's where we'll go next Friday night and do the broadcast there. So, all right, we're going to head out. Appreciate Harpoon Design for sponsoring, of course, the series. Appreciate Casey Carrington for allowing us to be a part of the broadcast. And, again, thanks for everyone being patient there after we kind of lost the connection there for a short time. But glad to be able to get back there for the finish of this race. So enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation from the Captain Esports Network.